welcome back to another video. Today I have a pretty massive coloring book haul and flip through video for you. So grab your coffee, grab your snacks, and sit back and enjoy. I've got quite a few laying here, and then I've got a few more off to the side. And some of these are actually new releases, and so you're going to get to see me flip through those. And there are probably other coloring books in here that you may not have seen or that you may have been looking for flip-throughs for. So the flip-throughs are going to be rather fast so that the video doesn't go on too long. And if I'm showing you a coloring book that I've already done a flip through previously, which that is in case the fact for one of them, I will make sure that is linked in the upper right hand corner. If you enjoy videos like this and you want to continue seeing more videos like this, please do make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn your bell notifications on so that you're always notified every time I post a new video. If you like this video, please do make sure you give it a thumbs up because that helps my videos be seen by others. If you check the description box down below, you will find links down there for my Facebook group and my email list, and also my Patreon if you would like to support me over there. So let's go ahead and get into this coloring book haul and flip through because there is a lot of coloring books here. A couple of these coloring books are actually Happy Mail and were sent to me by some amazing subscribers that watch my videos, and so I wanted to be able to share those with you as well as thank these subscribers individually because I just appreciate it so much. This first set of 3 coloring books was sent to me by Karen, so thank you, Karen, for sending me these coloring books. I really appreciate it. I do want to say that these coloring books are actually duplicates of coloring books that I already had, but I so appreciate this so much, even more so because this one by Klara Marcova, this Fairy Miracles book, this would have been so difficult for me to get because the shipping would have been astronomical. And of course, most of you know that you can only get these if you order them from Etsy. And so I'm in the US, and so it's kind of difficult now for me to get a hold of these anymore because she does not sell these anymore on Amazon. I was lucky enough to get my copy when she did used to sell on Amazon, but for those of you in the US, you need to go to Etsy and purchase them there, and then by the time you pay the shipping, they are very expensive, but they are beautiful coloring books. When I do my flip throughs or a massive flip through like this, I like to make it a little bit different and put a little bit of a twist on it, and I like to tell you which pencils that I have found work best in each one of the books that I have actually used, and I know which pencils perform best in them. So this Fairy Miracles book, I have used several different pencils in this book, and I've not yet found one that does not perform well on this paper. So the paper in these books is very nice. It is a thicker paper. Of course, they are hardback, and it is an absolutely gorgeous book. The paper is a little bit on the smoother side, but it does have a little bit of tooth. So I've used my Prismacolors in this book. I have used the Derwent Color Soft in this book. 120 square Brute Fooners. I've used them in here as well, and they performed wonderfully on this paper, and my Prismacolors. So those are a few choices for you if you have some of the Klara Marcova books and you want to try some different sets of your pencils in these books. Now, as far as the flip through, I am going to set this part to music, and I'm going to do the flip through rather quickly so that we could get through all of these coloring books in one video. So a few things about this coloring book I just wanted to mention. Her characters and her artwork are absolutely adorable. She's got lots of girls, lots of little, you know, fairy type girls, which are really, really cute. And then I love how she has a page with a few things over here and then the full page over on the other side. So if you wanted to be able to test your pencils and see what you can do and you just wanted to color something small or even practice backgrounds, you can do that in this book on the previous page. And as you can see, as I flip through the book, it is pretty consistent like that all the way through the book. So this one has a little bit more, it's a little bit of a bigger image, but it's the same thing. And then you've got the beautiful artwork on the other one, on the other side, which is just like another fairy girl. And then she's got a bunch of animals and adorable little characters and just kind of very mystical fantasy-like cottages and buildings. And this looks like it's underwater, and then we could see this little fish up here. But her images are really, really cute. And it's all just very fantasy-like. And here we have some flowers. So if you like books like this, you will love Klara's artwork. And like I said, you can find her books on her Etsy shop, and I will try to link that down below. And next we have Flora by Maria Trolle. And you guys know how much I love any Maria Trolle book, and you guys have seen me do plenty of tutorials on my channel with especially the Nightfall book, which is one of my absolute favorites. But her artwork in all of her books is pretty consistent and very much alike. So let me just tell you a little bit about the book. So the books are hardcover for those of you that have not seen Maria Trolle's books yet. And we've got the inside here that has the black page on the inside. And then we get into the book. And then we've got our title page, This Belongs To. And then this gives you an idea of what most of her artwork looks like. It's pretty consistent throughout the book. She again has a lot of, well, she's got like some women, and then she's got some girls, and then she has a lot of animals and flowers and things like that. And in the back of the books, if we flip back here to the back, it tells you every single flower, the scientific name for every single flower for every single page of the book. And what I like to do is, this is the scientific name. So what I do is I go on Google and I just type it in and I look it up, and it kind of helps me to know what colors to color the artwork in the book. And I usually try to follow that most of the time. Sometimes I don't, and I just color it whatever I want. But it's really cool to know what flowers and the actual scientific name of the flowers that are on each page. And it's really fun to go look those up and then see what the name is that you actually know that is not the scientific name, which you would be more familiar with. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick flip through of this book, and I'm going to set this to music now. That was Flora by Maria Trolle. It's an absolutely beautiful book, and I forgot to mention that she does have a lot of these pages where she has the black backgrounds, and these are really a lot of fun to color. I actually did one of these pages when I was showing you what Crayolas can do mixed with Prismacolors, and if I remember, I'll make sure that is linked up in the upper right hand corner. But I colored one of these flowers, and it really helps the flowers to really just kind of pop off the page. It's really, really neat. So as far as pencils that work best in these books, I have another video as well where I used just Crayolas, the 120 set of Crayolas, and I colored a page in this book, and it was a butterfly that looks very similar to this one over here, and it turned out absolutely beautiful. So I will make sure that is linked if I remember. But Crayolas work well in this book. When I tell you the paper in this book is so phenomenal that no matter what pencil I have tried to use in here, the only one that I really cannot get with is the 180 set of Brute pencils, the round ones. And those were the only ones that I have tried in here that I just do not like the way they lay down, but I honestly think it's just the pencil. I'm really not sure. I think that I'm going to be doing a video where I do an actual comparison, side-by-side comparison, and test each one of the 180 round Brute and the 120 square Brute on different papers in different books and so on and so forth. So if you want to see that video, let me know down in the comments below, because I'm really trying to figure out if I like the round set, the 180 round set. But that is Maria Trolle's Flora. Okay, so now we have Botanicum by Maria Trolle, and this is another fabulous book. I love all of her books, but this one was again part of the happy mail that I received from Karen, who is a wonderful subscriber and was kind enough to send me these 3 coloring books. So thank you, Karen, for these coloring books. I really, really appreciate it. And this one, I just mentioned I talked a little bit about the pencils, but just to be a little bit clear as far as the pencils that work well in these books, I'll tell you the ones that I have used. I have used the Artezas. They work beautifully on this paper. I actually have a video that is like my #1 video and has the most views on my channel. It was a tutorial on highlights and shading and just the basics of how to use colored pencils. I will try to make sure that that is linked up in the upper right hand corner so that you could find that video in case you want to go back and watch it. But Artezas work really well in these books. Prismacolors work beautifully in these books. Polychromos work beautifully in these books. And the 120 Brute I'm using for my color and chat where I'm answering all of your questions. They also work beautifully on this paper in these books. So let's go ahead and we're going to do the flip through of this one really quickly, and I am again going to set it to music. also. This is my new absolute favorite. This is Forest Girls coloring book, the premium edition. It is absolutely beautiful, and I'm not going to do a full flip through of this one. I'm going to make sure that's linked in the upper right hand corner because I've already done a flip through on this one, and I already did a tutorial on this one as well. So I'll just kind of go through like this so that you could kind of just see some of the pages in this book, but they are absolutely beautiful. And this was the tutorial that I did where I showed everyone how to create a textured look on the wood. And I will come back and finish that page. I've just not had time to do it quite yet. But this is a gorgeous book, a really, really gorgeous book. So this one is available on Amazon. I was able to get it on Amazon. You just have to kind of catch it when it's there and it's available. But yes, I absolutely love that book. Now I have these two books that are also from the Forest Girls series. They are all absolutely beautiful. The paper in these is a little bit different than the paper in the last one. And I forgot to mention the pencils that work well in the other book. When I colored in that book, I did use Prismacolors, and so far those are the only ones that I've tried out, but the paper in the book is absolutely fabulous. So let me go ahead and show you that. But the paper in this book, it's really important to show you that it is very thick cardstock, and it's very, very toothy. And I used Prismacolors and they worked beautifully. But on paper like that, most any pencil is going to work well on it. And I plan to try out other pencils in that book, and I will report back on that one. So these books were actually gifted to me by Donna, who was one of my subscribers. So thank you, Donna, for this wonderful gift. It is so appreciated. You have no idea. But I wanted to be able to show you guys because the paper in the other book, because the paper in these two is much different than the paper in the other book. So I don't know which one. I'm not sure which one is volume 2 and which one is volume 1, but they both have the same type of artwork, and both of these are softback, whereas the other one is hardback. And the other one I know was volume 2. This one, Moments Wholly for Yourself, this is actually volume 3, and so I'm assuming that this was the first book that was released. And so let's go ahead and do a flip through of this one first. Now, I have not colored in either one of these yet, so I really can't tell you what paper is going to, or what pencils are going to work best in this book. But just to show you before I do the flip through, the paper is, let me get one page here. So the paper is thinner than in the other book, and the paper has a much smoother texture. I'm not sure which book I would really compare these two. I think that they're a little bit closer to maybe a Joanna Basford book, the way that they feel like they feel like they have a little bit of tooth, but they don't have a lot of tooth at all, and they are on the smoother side, but the paper is still a good weight. So let me go ahead and do a quick flip through of this one, and again we're going to set that to music. volume 1 of the Forest Girls coloring book. Let's go ahead and start the flip through for this one. So a few things about this book that I found really, really neat are once you come to the back, well, first of all, in all of these books, you're going to find an image on one side, and then you're going to find the coloring page on the other side. And these books are really great, especially if you're a beginner colorist, because you can just take your pencils and you can use this as a guide or a reference, and you could just match your pencils up and color. But the back of the book, the paper is much thicker, just like in the volume 2 version of the book. And there are a lot of pages in this book. So these books are a little bit more money, but they are completely worth it, because if you figure how much you're spending per page as opposed to something like a book that you would purchase off of Amazon, like a Hannah Lynn book or a Deborah Muller book or a Jade Summer book, you are spending like $25 or somewhere around there for these books, but you're getting 127 pages in here, and they are all separate images. Of course, they are only on one side of the page, so that still gives you like more than 60 images in a book, and that's only 127 as per here. And then towards the back of the book, I get a few more images, and these are all on the heavy cardstock paper. So that is really, really cool. And so, like I said, it's got the artwork on one side and then the page for you to color on the other side. And the paper is really thick and wonderful to work on. And then here you've got a color sticker of the forest. And so I believe, yeah, I think these are stickers. So you can color them and use them as stickers and stick them on whatever you'd like to. That is so, so cool. Okay, so these are really, really nice books. If you guys don't have one of these books yet, you need to get at least one. Just look at the flip-throughs, check out the other flip-through that I have on my channel, decide which one you want. If it's dependent upon the paper, I would probably go with the volume 2 because the paper in that book is wonderful. But if you like working with a smoother paper, then you will like this volume 3 or the volume 1. So let's go ahead and go on to the next book. So this book, Creative Haven, Spectacular Spring Scenes, color by number. This was another sort of happy mail. I got this in the mail from a wonderful subscriber named Vicky. Thank you, Vicky. This was so, so sweet for you to send me this. She also sent me these glitter pens here too, and she just sent it to me in a package like this, and I was so thrilled to receive these. I will be showing these on my channel soon. I have lots of things coming to show on my channel, but I've not gotten to open them and test them out on my own yet, so that will be coming. But let's go ahead and take a look at the coloring book she was so kind to send me. This is Creative Haven, Spectacular Spring Scenes, color by number. And I don't know, the video has probably gotten really, really long, so I'm going to do kind of a really fast flip through, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the paper on this one. So the paper in these books, it is thinner, and it is very, very smooth. So oh my goodness, I really love this. Look, it's got the gray line art in here. So let's start at the front of the book on this one, because this one is a little bit different. It has a little bit of a tear right here on this, but I think that happened in shipment because when it came to me in the mail, the box was, or the packaging was kind of messed up, and I think that happened by the mail service. So, you know, what are you going to do? But this book is a little bit different. So it is color by number. And it has all of the pictures in the book, I would assume, over here on this side. And I think there's some more on the back because there's definitely more images in the book than these. But it has all of the different colors here. And then it's showing you by this one, the little lines up here, that is an indication, I guess, to shade with your pencils. And then it just gives you a list of all of the different colors by number. So that is really, really neat. And then let's go ahead and take a look at the book. It gives you a few little tips and techniques. And then this is really cool because the paper, it is a smoother paper and it is kind of thin, but oh, it also has, it has perforations here. So if you wanted to be able to cut your work out when you were done with it and frame it, you could do that with this book. Or if you just wanted to pull the pages out and not color directly in the book. But it's got all the numbers. Let me hold it up a little bit closer here so that you could see. But if you look at like the balloon here, you can see that it's got all the numbers listed, like 19, 21, 10. And so it's just an indication of what colors you are going to choose from the list that I just showed you in the front of the book. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do just a quick flip through of this one. Okay, so see, so we've got the other images just like I thought here on the back page, but I'm going to do a quick flip through of this one just so you can get an idea of some of the pages. And I'm going to go ahead and set this to music now. love this page with the hot air balloons. But as you can see from the flip through, it is exactly what it says, spectacular spring scenes. And so it's just a bunch of spring scenes, and you can have some fun bringing color to those pages by following their color by number guide. Okay, y'all, look what I got. I was so excited to receive this book, and I want to color in this book so badly, but this is Kirby, I always say Kirby Rosanes, but I think it's Kirby Rosanus or Kirby Rosanus. I'm not really sure exactly how to pronounce it. You can correct me in the comments if you would like to, because I would love to know the proper way to pronounce his name. But this is Fragile World. His work is absolutely beautiful. I just love him as an artist. And one of my favorite coloring books is Worlds Within Worlds, and I was so excited to receive this book, and I did receive it when it was released. And I have held out being able to color in it because I knew I had to make this video, and I didn't want coloring in my book when I did the flip through. See what I do for you guys? Okay, so this is Fragile World, Color Nature's Wonders. It is absolutely beautiful, and I don't know that I'm going to speed this one up and go really fast because I want to do a flip through and talk about some of the images in this book and the paper, because there are already tons of flip throughs, so I didn't want to do an individual just separate flip through because there's already so many, because so many people in the UK already received this book before I did, because I am in the US and sometimes we are the lonely ones that get things last. The first page is your title page this book belongs to, and then discover our fragile world in this coloring adventure. And then he just talks a little bit about his book, and he mentions that they're intricate illustrations, and they really, really are, because a lot of it is a lot of fine detail, and a lot of beginner colorists are really intimidated by this book. But I will tell you that when I colored the I think it was the flower fair in Worlds Within Worlds, that was probably one of the easier pages that I have ever colored, because there is so much artistic detail on these pages that when you come over it with your colored pencils, it just adds so much to it. So not only do you get to create something, you're using the line art kind of as a guide. And I think this book is really fabulous for anybody, whether you're an advanced colorist or you are a beginner. And I've seen so many people color this page, and this is going to be the first page that I color because it is my absolute favorite one. And I feel like so many other people feel the same, because I see this one all over the place, and I love looking at what people were able to do with that page because I've seen so many different variations of it. Now, this is a double page spread. Isn't that gorgeous? Like, his artwork when it comes to animals, like his artwork when it comes to anything is just truly amazing. Absolutely amazing. Look at the monkeys. Would you guys believe that I have never done a double page spread in all the years that I've been coloring? Because I'm a slow colorist, I just don't ever really want to do or have the desire to do a double page spread, just because I feel like I would lose inspiration for the page before it was done. And by the time I even finish one page, I'm ready to move on to the next. Look at that gorgeous butterfly. Oh my goodness. Oh, I've seen a lot of this page too. I've seen a lot of people that have completed this page as one of the first ones. This one and the frog seem to be the most popular in this book. Oh, look at the pandas. I've seen a couple of these too. I don't know, if you guys want to see some images colored like this, you know, there is a Facebook group specifically for this book. I'm actually a member of that group, and you can go through there and see some of the things that people have colored. But if you go to my Facebook group, you can just go to the search above and type in Fragile World, and I'm sure some things will come up. I don't know how many of you know that, but if you're looking for something particular in a Facebook group, you can always do a search within that Facebook group, and whatever you're searching for will come up with all of the inquiries, and it's a really fabulous tool. This book is just so, so gorgeous. Look at the birds. And the paper is just amazing. And a little bit about the paper, like the paper does feel a little bit smoother, but it's nice and thick. And oh my gosh, when your pencils, especially the Prismacolors, go down on this paper, it is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Look at this artwork. I can't even get over his artwork. Like, he is just a fabulous artist. But I don't know, I don't color animals a whole lot, but I actually just colored one in the previous video that I filmed before this one, which is still kind of a secret and I can't talk about yet until after the 30th. So that will be coming to my channel. But yeah, it just made me want to color animals even more so after I did my previous video that I filmed just before this one. Oh my gosh, this artwork is just truly amazing. These pages are just, my goodness. I mean, I don't know, there's some coloring books that you just look at and it's like, oh my gosh, I just want to add color to that. And I'm, like I said, not one that generally chooses books that have animals in them, just because I kind of prefer other things usually. But like, I looked at the flip-throughs of this book and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I just all of a sudden got this inspiration, like I want to color that. But if you come to the back, it says about the animals and it tells you about each page. It tells you what kind of animal it is, and then it gives you a little bit of a description down below. But I'm not going to go through all of that in this flip through because I'm sure there are much more detailed ones already on YouTube, because like I said, everybody in the UK or other parts of the world was lucky enough to have this book before us in the US. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, so this one is Fairy Wedding by Deborah Muller. This is a beautiful book for those of you that really love that more cartoony type of style and not so realistic. She does a lot of portraits and girls and things sort of like that, and you'll find a lot of flowers and butterflies and a lot of whimsical type fantasy things in her books. And she also has books that are a little bit like, she comes out with Halloween books and things like that, and she always is coming out with something, and she has something for every single season all of the time. But this one I thought was just a fantastic idea. Fairy weddings. I mean, that is just the coolest idea. But this book is actually printed on Amazon paper. She also has an Etsy store. I think we all know about the Amazon paper, and I think we all know what pencils are going to work best in this book. But I have actually, in my Amazon books, I actually love how my Prismacolors work in the Amazon books, and those are my favorite to use. And the other one that I like using in the Amazon books is actually my Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils. My budget-friendly pencils, I've not used them too much in the books with the Amazon paper, but she also has an Etsy store, and if you're interested in this coloring book, you can, I will put her Etsy store down below in the description box, because you can print these out on your own paper. You guys all know that my favorite paper is the Spring Hill paper. I tell you guys all the time, it's fabulous paper. It works well with so many different sets of pencils. And it does have quite a bit of tooth to it, so if you want a little bit less tooth, then you may prefer the Nina paper. And I'll make sure those are linked down in the description box below for if you wish to grab the PDF off of her Etsy store or for any other PDFs that you may be coloring, because everybody's always asking me what my favorite paper is. But the images in this book are just so cute and they are very different. And if you look at some of the styles and some of the faces, you can see that like this one looks a little bit more realistic. I love the look of her face in this one. And then some of them look a little bit more cartoony. Some of them are a little bit more dramatic. And she kind of changes the style of her faces a lot. And then this one has a unicorn in it along with the fairy. That's really pretty. And then she's got some side profiles. But I believe this book is about $8.99 on Amazon. And then here we have a goofy little frog with a fairy. And this one, I love this one. I actually started coloring this one last night, but I did it on my Spring Hill paper because I was testing out the 180 set of Flip-Thru pencils because I'm doing a whole lot of testing with those so that I could bring you guys a future video where I do a comparison of the 180 Flip-Thru pencils and the 120 set of square pencils. I love this one too. She's got butterflies in her hair. How pretty. Okay, so we are getting to the end of this one. Okay, so again, this was Deborah Muller's Fairy Wedding, and this is her newest release. A lot of these were new releases. So the Fragile World is a new release. This one is a new release. So I guess not a lot of them. Some of them are very new to me, but this is a new release. This is her newest book, and the Fragile World is a new release. These next two are new releases as well. So these are by Jade Summer. I'm going to have two by Jade Summer. So if you love Jade Summer, stick around for the last two books. We have two more to flip through, and I'm going to do these to a speed flip through. And I don't really need to talk about the pencils on these because, again, these are on the Amazon paper, and just like with all the other Jade Summer books or like with the Deborah Muller books, you can, with these, go to their website, not an Etsy store like Deborah Muller's. Deborah Muller's is her Etsy store, but with Jade Summer, you can go to their website and you will find a link there for all the PDFs of their coloring books so that you could print them out on your own paper. So this is Color by Number, Beautiful Patterns. This is a really pretty book. And this one here would really help you all out if you're a beginner to learn how to blend your colored pencils. Guide is on the back of the pages. So right here on the inside black part of the page, it's going to tell you exactly what numbers go with what colors. Now, like for this one right here, where it says light brown, I would actually take that light brown and I would put a few different light browns together when I colored this section of the pattern for whatever number it said. Like this one here says number 10. So I would find 10, and 10 tells me that I'm going to use pink. So I would find a few different shades of pink, or maybe add a little bit of red, so that your parts of your pattern really just kind of pop off the page. So let's go ahead and flip through this one, and I'm going to do that to music now. So one more thing I wanted to mention about this book is you are going to have your color by number chart here again on the back. And then if you flip to the inside towards the back, you actually have a page here where you could swatch out your colors. So like if you wanted to choose a couple different medium orange colors just so you can get a really good color blend, you can do that. And then on the line, you can list your colors. So that is really, really neat. And I have one more coloring book to share with you. And this is also a new release. This is Steampunk Animals Coloring Book by Jade Summer. So let's go ahead and do a quick flip through of this one. Again, this one is from Amazon on the Amazon paper. And you can also go to the Jade Summer website and you can purchase your book on the Jade Summer website as well and get it in PDF form. Okay, so with this book, I don't know if you noticed down here, it says image 25, the first set. So you are going to get 2 images in this book of each picture. And so the whole rest of this book is just going to be another 25 images, all the same as the first half of the book. And then if you come to the back of the book, it gives you their website and it tells you you can go download the PDF images if you would like to. So you can color them as many times as you want, and then you could print it out as many times and you would have more than 2 if you are a beginner and you wanted to practice. And then it'll let you know that they do have their own Facebook group. I'm a member of their Facebook group. I know probably a lot of you that are watching this probably are too. It's a pretty big group. And then it tells you all of the different coloring books that they have available. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you've probably seen some of these because I've had quite a few flip-throughs of the most recent ones. And then, of course, at the end of the book, they will give you some samples from some other books, so you've got some extra pages to color. This one is a bonus page from the Steampunk coloring book. And it looks like in this book, that is the only one they give you. And then on the back, it's going to show you some of the images found in the book. So that is Steampunk Animals Coloring Book, the new release by Jade Summer. Okay, y'all, that was a whole lot of coloring books and a whole lot of time to flip through them all. So I hope you guys liked this massive coloring book flip through. A little bit of a review of the few of the coloring books that I'm pretty familiar with. There were a few new releases, so I hope that you got to see the books that were new releases. If you like anything you saw in this video, I will have it linked in the description box below. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Happy coloring. Bye.